Ukraine needs serious security guarantees, and only with such guarantees will Kyiv be ready to engage in negotiations with the aggressor country, Russia. This was stated by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy in an interview with American journalist Lex Fridman. The main such guarantee could be Ukraine's NATO membership. Strong deterrence for the aggressor also includes sanctions and military aid to Ukraine.
Про це можна домовитися?
I'm sure this can be negotiated, yes. It is not a great success for us, but if we see a diplomatic way of finishing the war, this is one of the ways. That's the first. And the other is a weapons package. I am not ready to say publicly what this is. And President Trump can have it, no secrets from him, but mostly it depends on the US. Because partly EU will give, and partly US will give, of course, together.
Kyiv insists on effective security guarantees and is unwilling to repeat the experience of 1994. At that time, by signing the Budapest memorandum, Ukraine gave up its nuclear weapons in exchange for assurances from the United Kingdom, the US, and Russia that the country's sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity would be inviolable. As President Zelenskyy noted in 2014, when Russia, one of the guarantor countries, occupied Crimea and began military actions in Donbass, there was no significant reaction. Now Ukraine is demanding real military deterrence mechanism against the aggressor state.
Це зараз ми розуміємо, що це
Now we understand that these are not security guarantees at all. Now we need to find those responsible and put them in prison for creating the situation. After part of our Donbass and Crimea was occupied, Ukraine, it seems, sent letters 3 times over the course of several years to all the members of the Budapest memorandum. Did anyone reply to these official letters? Official letters. Everything is documented by diplomats. Did anyone hold consultations? No.
Zelenskyy is confident that waiting for Putin to want to end the war is not an option. He must be forced to do so. Therefore, the first negotiations with Russia are possible only after Kyiv coordinates its position with the US and the European Union.
І ми з Трампом домовимося, і потім
We will agree with Trump, and then, if I am sure he can offer strong security guarantees together with Europe, after that, there can be a conversation with the Russians. And that's how it should be, not just the 3 of us sitting down immediately.
If these talks take place, Ukraine will need adequate security guarantees, according to the US Secretary of State Antony Blinken.
It's unlikely that Putin will give up on his ambitions.
It's unlikely that Putin will give up on his ambitions. If there's a ceasefire, then in Putin's mind, the ceasefire is likely to give him time to rest, to refit, to re-attack at some point in the future. So what's going to be critical to make sure that any ceasefire that comes about is actually enduring is to make sure that Ukraine has the capacity going forward to deter Russian aggression. And that can come in many forms. It could come through NATO, and we put Ukraine on a path to NATO membership. It could come through security assurances, commitments, guarantees by different countries to make sure that Russia knows that if it re-attacks, it's going to have a big problem.
Before the elected US President Donald Trump take office on January 20th, the Joe Biden administration plans to strengthen Ukraine's position. According to Reuters, Washington intends to introduce new sanctions targeting Russia's shadow fleet, focusing on country's oil revenues. Reported by Alexander Zaslavets, Mikita Skolbikov, UATV News.